How do you put a price on an idea that could literally save the world? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But as we get closer and closer to artificial general intelligence, or AGI, it's actually becoming one of the most practical and urgent questions of our time. And today, we're going to try and answer it. All right, so let's just jump right in with that big question. Forget about smartphones, forget about space travel for a second. What is the single most valuable invention humanity could possibly create? I'll bet the answer isn't what you're thinking. See, the invention we're talking about isn't some new gadget or a faster computer. It's a guarantee. It's a validated, functional solution that ensures we can coexist safely with AGI. It's not a product, it's the master key that unlocks our entire future with AI.
Okay, so where do you even start trying to put a price tag on something like that? Well, you have to start big. I mean, really big. You have to look at the total value of everything that this one solution protects. So at its absolute core, the value of this solution is what it prevents. And we're not just talking about avoiding a bad recession here. We are talking about safeguarding the entire foundation of our society. In that sense, its value is, well, it's the total worth of everything we've ever built and everything we ever hope to achieve.
But okay, that's a little abstract. Let's get down to some hard numbers. Let's look at the value this solution actually unlocks. Projections show that AI is set to add at least $13 trillion to the global economy by 2030. A proven safety solution is the green light that makes it possible to actually get those gains without risking it all.
And if $13 trillion is kind of hard to wrap your head around, think about it this way. We're talking about a potential 16% increase to the entire global GDP. That is a staggering figure, a level of growth that's only possible if we know for sure that we're doing it safely.
And remember, the value isn't just about the upside. It's about dodging some truly catastrophic bullets. An unaligned AGI could easily trigger a global depression, make human wages collapse, and create inequality on a scale we can't even fathom. So preventing that's a massive part of this whole equation.
All right, so we've talked about the big picture, abstract economic value. But what does the market think? What are the investors doing? Well, as it turns out, they're already trying to price this in. Get this. Companies that are focused solely on developing safe AGI have already been valued at over $30 billion. And that's before they even have a finished working product. The market is screaming that safety itself is a multi-billion-dollar asset.
Now, to really get why, we need to talk about a really important idea in AI development. It's called the alignment tax. Basically, it's the performance hit, the slower speed, or the reduced capability that developers currently have to accept to make their AI models safer. It's a tax you pay on performance to get a little more peace of mind.
So here's the bottom line. Right now, it's a trade-off. You can have the most powerful, fastest AI, or you can have a safer AI that pays this alignment tax. Now, imagine a solution that just gets rid of that tax. The holy grail, right? Maximum power times and guaranteed safety. Every single major lab would adopt it overnight. The value would be absolutely astronomical.
And this right here brings us to the craziest part of this whole situation, the great investment paradox. We've just established that the value of this solution is almost infinite, easily in the trillions of dollars. So how does that compare to what we are actually spending to find it? Well, according to some experts, to properly mitigate the risks from AI, the optimal investment should be at least 1% of the US GDP annually. That comes out to over $310 billion every single year. That's the recommendation.
Okay, so keep that number in your head, 310 billion. Now, take a guess. What do you think the real number is? What is the entire world currently spending on AI safety research?
Yeah, here's the reality check. The recommended annual spend is $310 billion. The actual global spend is estimated to be less than 400 million. Not billion, million. The gap isn't a gap, it's a canyon. It's staggering.
Let me put it another way, because that's just wild. Of all the venture capital money that's pouring into general AI startups, only a tiny fraction, just 0.3%, is specifically directed towards safety. It is a rounding error for what could be the most important R&D project in human history.
So where does that leave us? This massive value, this tiny investment, it all leads to one final huge question. Let's imagine we bridge that gap. Let's imagine the solution exists. What happens next?
So really, put yourself in this position.
The problem is solved, it's done, and you personally hold the intellectual property for guaranteed, safe AGI coexistence. You have the key to everything we've just talked about. What do you do?
And it's a heck of a choice, right? Do you license this world-changing technology to the private labs like OpenAI or Google DeepMind and potentially kick off a competitive race to the top? Or do you propose it to a national body, aiming for a more controlled rollout but risking bureaucratic slowdowns that could take years? There is no easy answer, and it leaves us with the ultimate question: who do you trust with the future?